Anyhow, let's pick up some of your phone calls here. Cliff, I'm sorry, I don't have a city for you. Where are you calling from?
Canyon Country, California.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey, Cliff, what's up?
Good morning to you. I've been listening, watching, calling your program for several years now, probably 6 or 8, I'm guessing, but they've never been real personal. It's usually there's various subjects of interest, but today's different. My brother got bar mitzvah at Tree of Life in 1968. So my connection to that neighborhood goes back pretty far. I got many friends that went there to the temple for Hebrew school, for bar mitzvahs, confirmations. I probably haven't been in that building since the 70s because I moved from Pittsburgh, in the 80s. But it's a great all-American middle-class neighborhood, Squirrel Hill. It's really it was really surreal watching CNN, when the whole world was watching my hometown for such a horrendous tragedy.
Yeah.
So I've talked to some people back there. They're stunned, but it's a close-knit community. They'll get through it. But we've been witnessing these mass shootings and killings for years, since Columbine. I mean, I lived in Austin in the 80s, so I knew about the...
This has been going on since the Reagan administration.
I knew about the Charles Whitman Tower in Austin. He was a sniper.
That was back in the 60s, yeah.
Yeah, but that it seemed like an anomaly,
It was.
So now, Tom, we've had over 200 mass shootings just this year alone.
Right.
And I've gotten desensitized to these attacks, because they happen so often. But this one really hit home.
Yeah.
And I just feel so bad for the people that have been affected back there. But the sad reality, Tom, is this isn't going to do anything to advance the gun control debate. I just don't think it will. Why would it? If it didn't happen at Sandy Hook or the Pulse shooting or Vegas, I mean, it's just money in politics rules everything. And
well, it's not just that, Cliff. If Democrats controlled the House, the Senate, and the White House, we would have gun control. There would be sensible gun control in the United States. They've done it before. Bill Clinton did it in 1995 with the assault weapons ban. George W. Bush chose not to renew it in 2005, and that was the end of that. So it's and in part the only reason that the Republicans are holding power is because of voter suppression all across the country, but particularly in the red states. And they're holding power in these states, even where the majority of the voters are voting Democratic or would like to vote Democratic. They're not allowed to at the polls. They don't have the right kind of ID. Student IDs are not allowed, but gun permits are. I mean, we're looking at criminal election fraud being done by the Republican Party in state after state, and it's been going on since the 80s. And the Republican Party has turned into a criminal enterprise.
But it's the money from the NRA that ultimately gets these politicians to vote in their favor, correct?
I cannot disagree. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
then the whole thing is, Tom, I mean, obviously these weapons of war, these assault weapons have to be banned, but if an individual has this intention to go out and harm people, kill people for whatever reason, it's how can you stop them if nobody knows their intention until they act? So okay, ban all the assault weapons. There's still handguns that can not do as much damage in such an amount of time, but people will still be able to commit these acts, just maybe not, the numbers that they can with the assault weapons.
Yeah.
But
it's as I said, there are three issues here. This guy's core anti-Semitism and all the anti-Semites who celebrate with him, his hatred of immigrants, and thus, this synagogue's being one of the 300 in the country that supports the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, HIAS, and his specific saying that it was because of HIAS that he was going to this synagogue to shoot it up. I mean, he said that an hour or two before he went and did this. And then the fact that he had access to a weapon of war and could carry it around in the streets of an American city. These three things, and we need to be talking about all three, in my opinion.
And one other thing, Tom, as we sit here and speak, I'm pretty convinced that there's people out there that saw his number, say he did the most Jews ever in this country,
right.
11. There's people out there saying I could top that. I could beat him.
Yep.
There's people that have that in their mind right now that think he's a hero, but they want to go outdo what he did.
Yep.
That's the sickness.
Yeah, it really and truly is, Cliff. It really and truly is. Cliff, thank you for the call, and thank you for sharing the raw emotion of your experience with us. It's got to be a real tough one. In your communication with the people back home in this neighborhood, you're hearing messages of resilience?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, it's a good.
And I'm not hearing hatred. I'm hearing love.
Yeah, did you see the article about how many Muslims have kicked in how many millions of dollars in little tiny donations to Muslims all over the country to support the synagogue? I mean, this is amazing.
Yes, very powerful.
Yeah. So this is what we need to do. We need to stand up and we need to say, no, we're not a hateful country. We are not a hateful people. We're not going to hate the haters. We are going to call them out. We're going to do everything we can using the law to stop them, and we're going to do everything we can to try to shame them in the process of calling them out so that they go back into the holes from which they have crawled in response to Donald Trump's dog whistle. But, Cliff, thank you for the call. It's good to hear from you.